Kobe, Corey. Good, man. All right, we've got South Carolina State University football players Corey Fields and Jacoby Durant. Again, if you raise your hand, we'll pass you a microphone. Please state your name and media affiliation prior to asking a question. Floor is open.
Oh, yes, this question for Jacoby Durant. Maceo Hurd, Next Level Sports and Entertainment. First of all, gentlemen, welcome to Atlanta. With it being recruiting season, Jacoby, just give everybody a little bit of your story and how you got to this point from walk-on to All-American and Defensive Player of the Year.
Pretty much coming out of high school, I went to Lamar High School, small school, population of 900, probably at the most. I was overlooked coming out of high school. Didn't get too much recruitment, no offers, nobody looking at me. I just stayed grounded and talked with a couple people. And just really, I got the opportunity to go to a prep school. It was really like a little downfall for me, a little minor setback, but I stayed grounded. I always knew the coaches at South Carolina State, Coach Pugh, Coach Harrison. My cousins played there, so Coach Harrison gave me an opportunity to come in, and pretty much I set out 2017 season. The day I stepped foot in Coach Pugh's office, I told them they wouldn't regret it, bringing me in and giving me the opportunity to come in. After spring ball, I earned a scholarship, and I ain't never looked back since. Just kept my foot on the gas pedal.
Right here in the front. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry, in the back. Go ahead. We'll get you.
Hey, in the back, this is Tali Carr with HBCU Game Day. A question for Jacoby as well. You're going to face an offense with a pocket quarterback, a lot of weapons on the perimeter. Just how exciting is that matchup for you when you know it's a team that likes to pass the ball?
I'm excited, very excited. It gives me an opportunity to showcase what I can do when you're playing against an air raid team like that. It's just the same thing as playing against a Kill Glass over there at Alabama A&M, pocket quarterback, great passer. It's just opportunities for me and my team to make plays.
Go ahead.
Rick Henry, WSTV, Columbia, South Carolina. Jacoby, coming from a small town like Lamar, what does it mean to you to be able to play in this stadium, in this city, national television, and also just how excited are your family members, all of your friends back in Lamar?
It means a lot. Everybody don't get this opportunity from Lamar. Like I said before, a small population, and pretty much a great support system. It's a football town, so me getting this opportunity to play on the big stage, ABC, everybody looking at me, watching, everybody here, it's going to be great. I'm putting on for the town of Lamar.
Go ahead in the back. Yes.
My name is Dwayne Nash from the HBCU Sports and Hero Sports. This question is directed to Corey. Corey, there's been much made about Jackson State's defense coming into this game and how highly ranked they are nationally in a lot of statistical categories. What are your thoughts on that, facing that defense for the first time this year?
Can you repeat that last question?
Oh, what are your thoughts on facing that defense for the first time this year?
I would have to say it's an exciting thing knowing that they have a top-ranked defense going against them. But besides that, we play against different people who have great styles of defense. FAMU, for example. So we just got to do what we got to do and do our job, and it'll be fine.
Wilton Jackson from Sports Illustrated. This question is for both you guys, Jacoby and Corey. What has been the message that Coach Pugh has stressed to you guys just preparing for this game, whether it's, the Celebration Bowl in general and just preparing for the game overall, from an X's and O's standpoint?
Just pretty much knowing that we get this opportunity to play in the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. Don't be stage fright. You know what I'm saying? Just come in and play. It's another game. It's a bowl game. It's a big game for us. The lights is going to be bright. Sold out game for HBCU coaches. So don't let the bright lights get to you.
I would have to say all week, Coach Pugh just saying, finish and do what we do all year and just get through the year and just finish.
Hi, I'm Kanika Cabarrus with Next Level Sports and Entertainment right here. We've been following the season all season long, being the only Black-owned sports network. So what is your message to top talent about why they should choose the HBCU experience instead of other institutions?
I'll say it's a culture thing. You don't have to go to a Power 5 school to make it. You know what I'm saying? If you good, they'll come see you.
Got time for 2 more questions.
Jared Bell, USA Today. This is for Corey. When you think about the journey this season for your team, you guys started out with some losses, and now you're here. What does that tell you about the makeup, the resilience, the character of your football team? What has impressed you the most about that?
I would have to say the deal with adversity. We had some injuries at the beginning of the season. That's no excuse for the losses that we had. We just played our game, fight through adversity, control what we can control, and that's going to practice every day, getting better, so on Saturdays we can perform and finish games at the end.
In the back.
Hey guys, Cam Gaskins with ABC Columbia. This is for both of y'all. Obviously going into this game, a lot of the media attention has been on Jackson State and Deion Sanders and just his name and everything. Do y'all feel like you've been overlooked a little bit in the conversation of this game? And if so, any sense of a chip on your shoulder, or do you just kind of try to drown that out and ignore it?
Pretty much we play with a chip on our shoulder all year. We're overlooked, especially coming into this game. All the hype is for Jackson State. It's going to be a showdown.
I would have to say we've been underdogs all year, so we keep that chip on the shoulder, like Kobe said, and just use it as a motivation on Saturdays.
You got one more? That's it? Thank you, guys. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Trying to see if I could get up on the stage with that come deal. I have to put some steps for old man. Hey, Rick. Good. How was the rest of y'all? Let me see if I can sit down here. We just have, hey, gentlemen, how are you all? Thanks so much. Ladies.
All right, we've got South Carolina State head coach Buddy Pugh. Coach, if you don't mind giving us an opening statement, and once you're done, we will follow up with questions. It's all you.
Thanks a bunch, guys. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate you coming to check on us. We've been going through a neat week here at the Celebration Bowl. I got to first thank all of the sponsors, all of the operational folks, starting with John Grant. John is the executive director of the Celebration Bowl. John has done a fantastic job of running this thing. I've been involved with other bowl games, and I can tell you that this is as well run as any game I've ever been associated with. The sponsors, starting with John Dwyer from Cricket Wireless, the Coca-Cola folk, the Delta came in there in Columbia, brought all their top-notch people in and flew us in from Columbia to Atlanta. That was a fun little trip. It was kind of fun in a way because, I mean, we bust the Delaware. I mean, so you come back and take the plane to Atlanta. You know, it was truly an exciting kind of opportunity that way. So we've got to thank all of the folk that are involved here with the Celebration Bowl and say that it was truly a pleasure to be a part of this particular fair this way. And we look forward to seeing if we can come out on Saturday
and play against these Jackson State Tigers. Everybody knows Jackson's the favorite. We all know that they've got Dion and all of his highfalutinous and all the different kinds of stuff. I was a fan when he was playing for everybody, for two teams. He was playing football, basketball, and baseball, and track and golf and all that kind of stuff at the same time. So the guy, is probably the, I guess maybe top all-around athlete maybe of all times as far as I can remember doing our generation here. So the guy's been fantastic as far as his athleticism and his play and all these different. And then on top of that, then the guy comes in, and makes the coaching game look easy. He's been here for less than a year, and he's won all the top awards. I've been coaching for 45 years and hadn't had, some of these accolades and stuff of that kind that he's had. So it's been a fun run to see him rise to the top of the league, and he's done a little bit for us all. I gotta be honest and say that I'm sure some of the numbers that we've had as far as the record ticket sales and that kind of stuff are somewhat, I guess, dependent upon the fact that that he's got there doing what he does. But South Carolina State folk have done a nice job themselves. We've been extremely excited about this thing. The build up from the time that we won our conference to now, has been tremendous in the way that our fans have gotten excited about and done, a great job of coming together and being a part of this thing too. So I'm looking forward to seeing our fan base out there against their fan base, along with the fact that our team is going to be against their team. Our band is going to be against their band. So this is going to be a fun experience for us all. So I'm looking forward to this and many, many more Celebration Bowls to come, because I think we've got something here. I think we've got a model that might be good as ever. Y'all ready for me to shut up? Rick? No, yeah, I know you are. Okay.
The floor is now open for
questions. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here again. All right, let's go, yes, Rick. Let me do that. All right.
We'll go in the back.
All right.
Joe Cook, WAPT, down in Jackson. Good to see you again, Coach, right here in the back.
Where you at? Raise your hand.
To your left.
Right here.
Oh, I got you. Go for it.
Yeah, Coach, what kind of challenges does Jackson State present on, both sides of the ball for your team?
Well, defensively, they've got a little more defensive line than any usual championship subdivision team this size ought to have to try to block. They're extremely highly skilled in the secondary, so they can play a lot of man coverage on you and make you, really hurry to get the football off, because you don't necessarily have very much time. Their defensive front's so good, so you don't have much space with your receivers because of the fact that they do such a good job of playing tight coverage on you. Then you don't have much time because of the pass rush. So they've given up 21 points a game. The max points, they've given up is 21 points in a game. So you're talking about a situation where they don't give up any points and they score pretty good. And then on top of that, their defense scores points on you too. So they hurry up and get you a little bit out of your norm, out of your regular, and get you into a point where you get out of your comfort zone, and then they make you do something that's out of character for yourself. So you end up giving up a score, something of that kind. You give up a score in the kicking game, some of that kind of stuff. That makes it really tough for you on your offensive side. Then defensively, their offense versus our defense, the kid throws the football around. He can make all the throws, and he's got an all-star cast of receivers and skilled guys in general. So, they give you all the different kinds of pressure. They can block you up front on the offensive front, so they can run it. They don't run the ball, any unusual amount, but they can throw the hang out of it. And, you get to the point where, you got to really back off them a little bit because of the fact that they got so much speed on the perimeter, that kind of stuff, that it gives you, a tough time. So that's kind of my breakdown of what, they're about as far as an offensive and a defensive style football team.
Coach in the very back standing up.
Coach, back here, Matt Vereen, Watch Fox Columbia. Just what does it say about the character of your group, the way the season started at 1-4, to be able to end the season here at the Celebration Bowl?
It says that, that they are a tough, hard-nosed, resilient bunch. And I'm as proud of this group as I've been of a team. We were 0-2, 0-1-3, 1-4, something like that. We were down for a long time, fighting our way back, trying to get to 500. Lost the game early. We probably should have won the Alabama A&M game. Did not have the confidence in ourselves at that point to close the deal. And, they got a couple scores on us in a couple of uncharacteristic ways. And then from that point, then we go to Clemson. So, you get a situation there where you get beat up some early in your schedule. You're trying to find yourself back, to even. And, they finally did. Our conference schedule being the way it was, we actually were underdogs in probably most of the games that we played in our conference, which is a little bit unusual in the fact that we've been undefeated in our league. So, you get a situation where it took us a little while to really come to the realization that we were at least as good as everybody in our league. All of the games that we won, though, on the road in particular, were like by 3 points or 5 points or some, stuff of that kind. So, it was a fun team to be around because they won close football games. And there's nothing more fun than being on the bus coming back home after a close, hard-nosed victory that we pulled together and won together.
We'll stay in the back, far right, Coach.
Yes. Yes, Tommy.
I
can hear you good.
Okay. You've been around HBCU football for a very long time.
Yes, sir.
What was your takeaway with the historic week that HBCUs had with recruiting and early signing day?
I think it's more about the end than the beginning. We've had draft choices. Darius Leonard was during their walk-on at South Carolina State. We've got more NFL guys than any other HBCU right now. I can tell you that we bring in a lot of down-the-line guys. It's more about what's in a guy than what his rankings and all that kind of stuff were. But now at the same time, it is neat to see some of the top guys, pledge their abilities to our schools. And, I'm excited as all get out to see, what happens down the road a piece, if we can continue this momentum. I'm hoping it's the beginning of something in the future that will give us all, a little bit of an opportunity to get involved in that game some. But now it's still a league that's a little bit out of our league, but we do feel like our main ability is developing the down-the-line guys into guys that are just as good as some of these guys will be in 4 years. And that's the pride that we take in our guys and the fact that we think we get a better guy in the end than they had in the beginning.
Second row to your right.
Hey, Coach, Jared Bell, USA Today. Can you tell us a little bit about the message that you have for your team coming in here, maybe as some of your players said, being overlooked, overshadowed? What do you tell them, and does any of that draw on what you've kind of preached to them throughout the adversity of this season?
The proof's in the pudding of what will happen. We'll get a chance after we've gone through the rest of this weekend to decide, whether or not the message, has been good or not. But I can tell you that I believe in keeping things as normal as possible. We'd like to try to make this week almost exactly like a regular week, as far as how we do things. I don't want to get them out of their norm. So we don't do very much more than what we've done, in our regular season that way. So our routine, they want us at the stadium like 3 hours ahead of time. I said, listen, the longer we're there before, the longer we got to mess up before it's time to play. Okay, let's see if we can get there the latest we can. Let's see if we can get in and get dressed, get out and play a little bit. We get up in the morning, we meet a little bit, we eat a little bit, we go play. Okay, and all that kind of stuff I want to be kind of the same as it would be if we had, a regular season ball game. So all of the stuff that we deal with here, hopefully after the day will go away in a way where we'll only be dealing with the regular routine.
Second row here.
Stan Beckton, NCAA Digital. Coach Pugh, I have a question for you.
Yes.
With as many all MEAC defensive players you have on your side of the ball, how do you feel that will play to your advantage against a high-powered Jackson State offense?
Well, it's not about the individual. It's more about the team. The thing that I like about our football team is we tend to be able to play together in a way that I think kind of makes it all work in a way that's a little bit better than guys playing just as individuals. Jacoby Durant's a heck of a football player, but he wouldn't be very good if some of the other guys around him didn't do their jobs as well. And then we didn't actually work together, with each other to make sure we make a scheme go. So, Jonathan Saxon, our defensive coordinator, is as big a part of that deal as anybody as far as how we actually go about putting our defense together. And our team as a whole is big, that way. So that's why you hear our guys talking about do what they do in a way that's pretty normal and regular, simply because it's more about the connectivity of the group than it is the group individually.
Second row, coach, right here.
Hi, Kanika Cabarrus with Next Level Sports and Entertainment. Coach Pugh, HBCUs are being seen in a new light this year and even this week going into the game, even more so now than ever. Why would this win mean so much to your program, and how is this new attention affecting the players going into the game?
The attention that we get from this particular game for us is not that much different, except for this one little deal today. I don't know if it's something that we sort of preach as a program that our guys have to kind of sort of get used to, as they go through life that way. But at the same time, as I said earlier, it's not about the individual and the attention they get. It's about what you do, and how you go about doing it in the end. So, I don't know if I answered your question because I got lost in the whole deal at some point or other, but I can tell you that these guys, have enjoyed it, and the people that come to South Carolina State, I love for people to talk about the fact that they enjoy playing for Buddy Pugh. I do not like for people, I don't want to ever be in a situation where guys say, man, boy, that doggone Buddy Pugh, he was a you-know-what, and I didn't like playing for him, that kind of stuff. So that's what we're trying to make sure that we get to our guys. When we start talking about recruiting, we want them to have come to a place and enjoyed being a part and developed in a way where they are, when they're grown men, that I can still have them come by the house and we can have a drink and be fun together. Can I get Rick Henry right here on the front row, please? Is that possible? Michelle? Thank you. Go ahead, Rick. You can ask the question. I can hear.
All right. Well, look, just how valuable is this exposure to your team, especially when it comes to recruiting?
It's valuable. It's almost the same deal. But at the same time, the main message that I want to get out to people is the fact that South Carolina State does a good job of developing its young men in a way where, they don't – I've been trying to not say this, but we don't wear our hats in business. I mean, we don't do things that some people do in other places. So, we feel like it's important that we do things in a way where our guys can go out and earn livings and do things, on a regular basis. Everybody's not going to have the opportunity to do some of the things that some of our people can, some of our top-notch high-ups can do in life. So, we want to make sure that we give the regular folk in our, program an opportunity to go in and do a nice job of making a living and doing a good job for the rest of their lives.
In the back, coach, standing up.
Hey, Coach, back here. Cam Gaskins with ABC Columbia. You told us earlier in the week that this team has never played in a stadium like this, has never played in front of a crowd like this. What do you say to them to try to get them ready? I know you had practice yesterday so they could kind of visualize it, but how do you get them prepared for just the moment that's going to be coming tomorrow?
Well, a lot of what we'll try to do that way, we'll start with today. We'll bring them in here and give them a chance to kind of walk around a little bit and look around a little bit and do some of the stuff to acclimate in a way that they won't be so starstruck by the process, by the stadium, by the facility tomorrow. But now we played at Clemson. We played last year at the Tampa Bay place. We played at our guys have been all over. So it's not like they're going to be in a situation that's going to be so far out of the norm that that we be just totally starstruck by the affair. So these guys will be okay. We'll get in here, and I've said a million times to our guys, say, we do all the jumping up and down. We do all the hype stuff. We do all the kind of stuff that we do to get ready for a game. And then, boom, they kick it off. In about 1 minute, you hit him, he hits you. It becomes 59 more minutes of just regular football, and the best man is 9 out of 10 going to win the football game. So you got to make sure that you understand that those 59 minutes are a lot longer than that 1 minute. So the hype part is going to be a lot shorter than the whether you good enough part. So that's, something that I think will kind of take care of itself, as we get into the game.
Got time for one more?
Get him right there again. Let me get him right there. Yes.
You got Lou, too.
All right.
Back here, right here.
Yes.
Talking with some assistant coaches and some players today, when asked about what the culture of the program is, they bring up the hardworking nature, that bulldog way, and they say, yo, coach's first one in, last one out. What motivates you and drives you to be that type of a coach?
I enjoy it. I love doing it. You know, you don't do what we do because somebody makes you do it. You can't make a guy lift weights if he doesn't want to lift weights. You know, and, you know, you don't make anybody do something that doesn't seem to be a total, complete joy to them as they go about that process. So the reason I go to work in the morning, I can't sleep. I hadn't had a good night's sleep in, maybe 25 years. So at that point, then I get up and I go to work. It's more fun for me to go home, you know, and hang around a little bit and make sure everything's right and then go back to work. That's just kind of how it works. So you don't have to worry about, you know, my office ever getting cold from from lack of use because, you know, I'm there all the time. That's just kind of the way we do things. I used to be able to play golf until I got hips and knees and all kind of other stuff. Now all that stuff has kind of gotten uncoordinated in a way that I don't like the way the golf ball looks after I hit it. So at that point, you know, I just go on about the fact of finding something else that I can do to entertain myself. Working's one of it. I watch film. I get every NFL tape of every team every week. So I get a chance to see all those guys and what they're doing, the cutting edge stuff they do. So I enjoy watching football. That's what I do.
Coach, we got two more. We'll start here with Luke.
Luke Williams, coach from the Black College Sports page.
Hey,
how you doing, man?
Fine.
You know, there's a lot of talk this week about this kid signing with Jackson State. I'm going to go back a little bit. This is like a Darius Leonard related question. Do you have anybody on your team you think now that compares with Darius Leonard, who's now the highest paid linebacker in all of the NFL?
Well, I got something that I hope would be, but, you know, that I didn't know Darius was what he was until now myself. So, you know, that's kind of a tough deal to evaluate. It's obvious that I'm not necessarily, you know, the brightest or the sharpest tool in the shed when you start talking about, you know, figure out who can. I got guys playing the league right now I didn't think could play for us. You know, so it's one of those kind of deals where you never know about this talent thing. But I tell you what, I got a couple guys that can play. We got a couple guys on defense that I'm excited about. I think Jacoby's a good player. I think Jablonski Green's a good player. B.J. Davis is good. We got some good players, you know, on defense. But it ain't about them individually and how good of players they are. It's about how good they play together. I don't care where it is. If both of them fitting outside and the guy runs inside of them, they're two fast motor scooters outside, but the ball is going inside. That don't help us very much. So we got to make sure that they all know exactly where they fit as far as what our scheme is concerned.
We'll end it in the front, Coach.
Hey, buddy, with all the attention that HBCUs are getting now, especially landing some of the nation's top recruits, do you think it will ever reach the level again for SC State where, like back in the 70s, where the Bulldogs had two future Pro Football Hall of Famers on the roster?
I hope so, Rick, but I'm going to be honest with you. I was playing with those guys. I was 1 year behind Donnie Shell, and I was 1 year ahead of Harry Carson. You know, I don't know what happened to my class. I don't know why we didn't have a Hall of Fame in our class, but somehow or another we didn't. So we had two of the greatest football players in the history of the university there, and I didn't even know it. So, you know, I don't know, Rick. I think that sometimes it's still more about, I think we may have a Hall of Famer on our team right now that we just don't know who he is. So let's say, you know, the proof of being that putting 20 years down the road a piece. If I could figure that out right now, you know, that'd be, yeah, let's hope I can say that I would hope that we will start to get better players. But even the guys who end up being those kind of players, they aren't those kind of players that's come out of high school guys. It's the guy who gets snubbed out of high school, who finds out that he doesn't have anything. He gets himself into a situation where he somehow or another gets on a team, and he's always a little bit, snubbed and a little bit behind and a little bit this, that, and the other. And he keeps working at it, and he gets better and better, and he passes the guy. It's the old story of the doggone tortoise in the hare. I mean, those guys are just kind of just different that way. So that's what makes the great players of the world. So I'm telling you, I don't think it's big a deal about recruiting as it is about development.
Coach, I think we got them all. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. You want your water?
Yeah, let me have that water. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Man, how you doing, Luke? Yeah, good to see you, man.